The first 10 days is a crucial period for your piglet survival, and you need to ensure daily care and management for the piglets. Hi guys, so welcome once again to Ezra Pig Farms. Now, when I started this farm, I thought that success was all about numbers. Get your pigs or your sows to give birth to plenty piglets and then profit is guaranteed or certain. But I was wrong. My pigs gave birth, but not all the piglets survived. It is not automatic that once piglets are born, they will grow and then you get to sell them. Now let me tell you about Agathos. When Agathos gave birth to her first set of piglets, they were very heavy and I was very excited. But after the first day, I lost 2 piglets. Then the next day, early in the morning, my farm attendant called me and then he told me that another piglet was gone. By the time I would realize, I had lost all the piglets but 2. Only 2 survived, and these 2 that survived, I had to take them away from their mother. She didn't have to breastfeed them again, and we needed to hand feed these piglets. Now, it was sold to me as a TN, and because it was expensive, I wanted to give it good care, so I gave it all the food, but Agathos was lazy and wasn't active to breastfeed. So when it was going to lie down, it wouldn't push away its piglets with aggression. It would just find a place and sluggishly lie down trying to breastfeed, and sometimes we would lie or sleep on one of the piglets, and because of its weight, the piglets didn't survive. I'm saying that the first thing that has to do with piglet survival doesn't actually start when the piglets are born. It starts just even before they are born, when your gilt or your sow is pregnant. So what I have done afterwards is that when my pigs are pregnant, in the first week of their pregnancy, I make sure that they eat balanced feed, 16 to 18% protein, and about 3,300 kilocalories of energy, including vitamins, minerals, and then calcium and all that. I continue giving it just what it was taking before it got pregnant. So if it was taking 2.5 kg of feed because of its weight, I continue giving it 2.5 kg of feed. Then after 40 days of pregnancy, that is when we have 40 days after we've crossed it, we increase the feed from 2.5 to gradually till about 4.55-ish, 5 kg-ish. Then in the third trimester, when it's about 30 days for the pig to farrow, we reduce the feed again. Why? So that the animal will not be overly fat. Here is the thing. When the animal or the sow eats a lot, what happens is that the babies in the womb of the animal becomes very big. Okay, so if you didn't choose your sow well, like I shared with you in the other video, using the piglets formula, if your sow didn't have a large pelvic structure, you can lose both your sow and the piglets. So that's why piglet survival starts from the parentage. Again, if your sow is too fat or is too big, then it will become sluggish and lazy, and it could easily crash the piglets when they are born. So that's the first thing. Piglet survival starts from pregnancy of the mother. Now, the second thing about piglet survival that you need is that you need to ensure that your farrowing pen is properly set up. So what I realized after my first set of piglets gave birth was that because there was no light here, I couldn't get heat lamps for heating the piglets. But what I noticed is that when we put sawdust at the crib area and the mother gives birth, the piglets, because they want heat, easily move into the crib area to sleep. and by sleeping there, the sawdust helps them to generate it rather than they lying on the bare floor. So you need a proper setup, a farrowing pen setup, and then you move your mother sow there before it litters or gives birth. The most important or crucial thing at birth for the pig is that once the piglets are born, within the first 24 hours of birth, they need to take colostrum from their mother. This helps in their survival. Colostrum is equal to survival. When the piglets are not able to get colostrum from their mother in the first 24 hours, usually they'll become weak, their bodies don't develop enough antibodies, and then they don't make it. So the third thing is that you have to feed them right. Now, feeding them right also means feeding their mother right as well. Their mother needs a lot of energy, 16 to 18% protein, and then about 3,003 to 3,400 kilocalories of energy in their feed. When they have this, they are able to produce a lot of breast milk. We consider the number of piglets the mother has littered, and then we increase the feed by 0.5, like that's 0.5 kg times the number of piglets the mother has littered. So if the mother littered, say 14 piglets, we increase the mother's feed by 7 kg. Piglet care and management, which is very important for the survival of your piglets. Now, anytime you come into your farm, you have to check when the sow is breastfeeding its piglets. You have to check because as they are breastfeeding, there are some animals that probably are weaker and are not able to compete for the teats that the mother has. If there are animals like that in the litter, you have to give them extra care by feeding them with a feeding bottle, to ensure that they are not left behind. Then again, you also have to, like I said, when you prepare the creep area, you have to start introducing them to creep feeding. What we do at Eshua Pig Farms is that from 10 days, we start putting some special creep feed, at the creep area. We check whether they have picked everything or whether some is left. But it's important you do this because you need to gradually introduce them to solid feed. So we introduce our pigs to specially formulated creep feed. We have also realized that since we built our creep area and started introducing creep feed, our animals became heavier faster, which increased their chances of survival. I also noticed that once the piglets survive the first week or the first 10 days, you'll be able to keep them till they are weaned off. And so the first 10 days is a crucial period for your piglet survival, and you need to ensure daily care and management for the piglets. In the first 48 hours, we administer iron. That's what works for us. If your piglets are in a damp environment which is very cold and they get sick, they are not going to make it. We realized that once we started keeping records, we noticed that piglet survival rate has increased, which means that piglet mortality has reduced. We learned the hard way, but for me, the greatest thing I would say about piglet survival has to do with the keeping of records, because numbers don't lie. And numbers can help you determine which of your animals to keep for breeding and which ones to sell off, which of the genetics you want to promote on your farm, and which of the genetics you want to cull. Once again, this is Ezra from Eshua Pig Farms. Peace.